BiomedRx Optimum Woman is the only woman's high-potency full-spectrum multiple vitamin supplement to contain 56 nutrients, including those most important for today's woman, such as calcium for bone health, iron for healthy red blood cells, beta-carotene, biotin for nail and hair health, gamma-linoleic acid from evening primrose oil, octasanol, grapeseed extract, a potent antioxidant important for maintaining capillary strength, and vegetarian digestive enzymes. Visit www.biomedrxsupplements.com.
Gold label quality BiomedRx CBD oil is made from organic hemp that is locally grown, glyphosate-free, gluten-free, non-GMO, homogenized, third-party tested, and CO2 extracted. Visit www.biomedrxcbd.com.
Hi, this is Devin Lockett, the president of JobSite Route. As the son of a general contractor, I know how difficult it can be to get good food on the job site. And letting your construction workers leave the job site to buy lunch just takes valuable time away from them being on the site. I've developed an app and a program that will bring a steady stream of food trucks to your job sites every month for the low price of only $100 per month per site. That comes up to about $3 per day to have a steady stream of food trucks coming to your job sites all day, every working day. You can also contact the food trucks ahead of time and pre-order your food from the menu on our app. This saves valuable time for your construction workers and for you. It also sends a variety of delicious food served on Southern California food trucks to your job sites all day. When you think about it, it only makes sense to join the JobSite Route Network.
How y'all doing? How's everybody doing today? Hello. Thank you for joining me. I'm glad you could be here today. Sorry, I've been out of pocket for a while. I've been working on making some real money on behalf of BiomedRx Incorporated. That means traveling. So that means traveling and working on websites. So I'm going to be sharing a lot of URLs with you guys in the very near future. As you know, I am a web entrepreneur, a infopreneur, and I've got a number of websites, about 70 of them online. So in order to bring in the real money that comes from healthcare technology management and CBD and all of the other aspects of the BiomedRx Corporation, I've been out hustling and working. I've been putting my nose to the grindstone, which is what you have to do pretty often, and, bringing home the bacon. So basically, I'm back now. Thank you for watching me. Today is hump day. So you got me humping, as they used to say, as the Gap Band used to say. All right. Got some information I want to share and some advice that I want to share. Before we get to the information, I want to share the advice. On the advice tip, don't try to reverse engineer volition, doing things voluntarily. Don't try to reverse engineer volition. Now, what the hell is Devin talking about, right? What are you talking about? What am I talking about? Well, you ever see Pee Wee Herman, right? You ever watch Pee Wee Herman, the movie, right? Pee Wee Herman. He was a strange fellow, a strange comedian, especially when we found out about him, having a strange appetite for certain movie theaters and type of venues and self-entertainment. But this guy was real goofy, right? This comedian, Pee Wee Herman, he was pretty goofy. And he had one of these things that he used to do. He would fall down, like he'd fall down on his bicycle or whatever. And he would jump up and say, I meant to do that. I meant to do that. Okay, and that was funny, right? That was funny. That's reverse engineering volition. In other words, you are saying after the fact that you meant to do something, right? And everybody knows that the only person you're fooling is yourself, all right? Well, we have a lot of that going on once again with my beta brothers. It's always the beta brothers. It's always the beta brothers, right? And they try to play it off like they actually voluntarily chose living the beta life in the yoke, within the yoke of the matriarchy, right? Of the Black American gynocracy. And that this is a lifestyle choice. The choice of being neutered is a lifestyle choice because of a placement of wanting to establish a base or whatever fucking bullshit people talk about or whatever. But you see what you're talking about when you're trying to talk about the value of your union with your master, your feminine master. What you're really talking about is a decision that you made out of fear. It was a decision that you made out of fear. The fear of scarcity, a decision that you made out of the with a scarcity mindset, out of a scarcity mindset, to link yourself to someone who does not respect you, and for the illusion of security and comfort, whatever that comes with being provided for. And most of these men or brothers that I guess we can call themselves, like to call themselves men, behave in every way in accordance with the mindset of a person who understands at the deep down core of his being that mama's gonna pay the bills, that mama's gonna take care of everything, that everything's gonna be all right, that everything's gonna be all right. And so therefore you can be emotional, you can be risky, you can be immature, you can be foolish, you can be irresponsible, completely irresponsible. You can be cheeky, selfish, and inconsiderate, even inconsiderate of the consequences that come from your own behavior. I'll give you an example. A lot of the betas that allow themselves or succumb themselves to being provided for financially by a woman, and therefore find themselves in a driving Miss Daisy situation, do so because they have internalized, and I'm going to say it, niggerdom. That's right. They've internalized it. They've internalized limitations in themselves that they have said, they have internalized, they have absorbed the belief that they can't accomplish, they can't stand up as men in the world. And a lot of black men feel that way, and it's really sad. It's really sad. It shouldn't be that way. And because, here we are, this country is on its transitional days. We're not going to say last days, but it's on its transitional days. And we've been spending so much time whining and complaining and putting on hoodies and marching and singing and hands up and kneeling down and sitting down and all the rest of this bullshit that we haven't really had a chance to stand up as men in this society. And this is a golden opportunity for us to do so. But we are being politically manipulated by those who manipulate the media and other influences in society to accept this paradigm of disempowerment. Now, I can understand, being a black American of my particular age, and I won't discuss that right now, but I can understand why there would be a certain amount of cynicism and even nihilism, right? Even the belief that it may be hopeless to try to stand up and individuate as a man and to try to establish yourself as a man in this society. But I really don't believe that the soul-crushing, ulcer-creating life of subjugating yourself to a narcissistic Machiavellian psychopath, basically, for the purpose of being secure is a deliberate decision, right? You're rewriting history in order to say that you voluntarily and intentionally did something proactively that was actually the result of a reactive decision to avoid poverty or to avoid the insecurity or really to avoid the failure that you believe in your heart is waiting for you if you stand on your own 2 feet as a man in this world. And everything has to flow not from a base, not from other people. That's collectivism. Collectivism is communism and socialism. And if you're a communist and you're a socialist, well, I just feel sorry for you because those philosophies don't work. And they've proven throughout history that they don't work and that they never will work. That's collectivism. Yes, human beings are strong in our family units. Yes, we are. Our family creates us, makes us stronger. But a family is an extension of the man. Okay, a family must be the extension of the man. If not, then the man is a piece of furniture like Homer Simpson inside the family, and he's taken for granted by all the family members. And what are the long-term effects of that? Those children who grow up observing a man being less than a man in order to function, in order to be fed, basically, in order to have his material needs met. The boy children don't really grow up with a good example of manhood, and so they don't really establish good patriarchies within their own homes. And the girls, well, we're just putting out another generation of strong women that are going to dominate men and continue the matriarchy, continue the gynocracy, the gynocratic society. I mean, these things are uncomfortable for us to talk about. People don't really want to talk about it. But, if you make a decision based on fear, and I guess we've all made decisions based on fear. I mean, when you're a kid, you're afraid. When you make a decision based on fear, don't turn around and say you did it on purpose, deliberately, because that's the way you wanted things to be. No, because a man is a man, and you must put forth, to the best of your ability, the virtues of independence, honesty, integrity, justice, productiveness, and therefore pride. Yes, pride. Pride doesn't come before the fall. Pride is the crown of all virtues. Pride is the feeling that results from setting standards of behavior for yourself and living up to those standards. And if we're not proud, then we're either lazy or dishonest. Because if you are not proud, then that means you don't set standards of behavior for yourself. And that makes you lazy. Or maybe you set standards of behavior for yourself and you don't live up to them. And that makes you degenerate and also lazy. So, or you actually do behave in accordance with your values, in accordance with your standards, in accordance with your principles, and you are secretly proud. And those are the most evil people, because those are the people who actually practice active evasion. So I try to introduce my friends and I try to introduce my kids and everyone else that I come across to the philosophy of rational objectivism. And not everyone is actually capable of embracing it. It requires a lot of strength, a lot of character, a lot of strength of character, and a lot of people can't really make it. You know, when we go through the transitions of being alone in the world, when we go through the transitions of the vicissitudes of life, let's just say, of attempting to live man's life on earth, we often find ourselves in situations where we may be confronted with our own character. We may stare into the abyss, as Nietzsche said, and the abyss will stare back into us. When that happens, we have to be very careful that we are remaining rational and not simply focused on feelings and emotions and the desire to feel like the big dog, the desire to feel like you're the big homie, the desire to feel like you're the success. You see, a man, right, in his life is growing into a state of all what all human beings do, right, and into the full development of humanity, which is to provide security and comfort, fulfill yourself and those around you with the hierarchy of human needs, and to push away all of those things that distract you from living man's life on earth. Now, we have an expression in the hood, letting your nuts hang. You have to let your nuts hang. Well, letting your nuts hang is a description of integrity. Integrity, okay? You have become an integrated person. You have sat down and thought about how you feel about everything in life, and you've come to a conclusion, and now you are an integrated person. You are who you are, whether people agree with it or disagree with it, whether they like you or whether they don't like you. So for me, for this man, manhood is a process of evolution into being the man that you are, into living a life of integrity. This is why I speak with no filter. This is why I say what comes to my mind, because I pay my own bills and I don't have to depend on anyone for financial support. And I've always stood on my own 2 feet, and I have nothing to lose. I have nothing to lose. And so therefore, my life is not going to become a series of making myself more palatable for someone else, because I don't rely on anyone else to pay my bills, right? I don't need anyone for anything. I'm completely self-sufficient. I don't need anyone for anything. And if you are not at the point where you are honing your life, you are honing yourself into a completely integrated human being, then you are seriously damaging your ability to be successful in this world. Your ability to be successful, according to rational objectivism, is largely based on your placing 3 things as your principles, as your priorities in life: reason, reason. Man is a rational animal thinking. Purpose, meaning that you define the meaning of your life, the purpose of your life. You give your life purpose. And most importantly, self-esteem. Self-esteem. Self-esteem is the combination of two things: self-efficacy and self-worth. Well, if you're dependent upon a woman for financial support, then you're never going to establish self-efficacy. If you are cheating on that woman because you don't love her, but you are relying on her for your financial support, obviously, because if you're with someone and you're cheating on her, then you don't love her, and therefore, why are you with her? And if you're relying on her for financial support, then that's the reason why. So that kind of makes you a little bit of a punk and a little bit of a bitch too at the same time. But if you are not capable of living a life of integrity, then any level of comfort or security that you're going to gain by compromising yourself, by neutering yourself, by chopping your ding-a-ling off, by castrating yourself, right? By turning into Benson or driving Miss Daisy or whatever it is that you feel is worth the sacrifice, right? Then you've compromised too much, because you're taking the core, right? The core of the home, which is supposed to be you, the man, right? God to man, man to the wife to the children. And that's the order. That's the order as defined in all of the major religions of the world. And to the extent that you pervert that, then you cause yourself angst. And then you end up trying to express your manhood by being a man who lacks character. And then as you grow in the world, it's no longer cute to say, oh, he, ha, ha, poke the elbow. Hey, he's fucking around on his wife. He's cheating on his wife. No, man. Because if people look at you and they see that you can't even be faithful to your life partner, then they're not going to want to do business with you where money is at risk or money is on the line, because you're a backslider, because you have no integrity. At a certain age in life, it's no longer cool to cheat on your wife. It's no longer cool to cheat on your partner. It's no longer cool to think with your dick and to think that it is a measure of your manhood to be able to point it in every other direction and to take money that you've taken from your wife and give it to these other women. I really don't know how that works. But, for a man, as a man grows, a man appreciates certain things like sleep, like being able to sleep well at night, like being able to look at himself in the mirror. And most importantly, when your blessings come, having enough self-worth so that you feel as though you deserve to accept the blessings. You see, this is the problem, right? Those who internalize the nigger mentality and figure this is the limitations of who I'm going to be, and this is all I'm going to be, and I'm just going to live within these paradigms, and I'm going to be either a son husband to my mom or a male wife to my wife, or whatever it is that ridiculous parody of family structure seems to offer, right? When you decide to succumb to that, then you need to understand what you're actually compromising. You're compromising the integrity that's going to allow you to have enough of a sense of self-worth to accept your blessings when they come into your life. If not, you're just going to sabotage them. If not, you're just going to destroy yourself, and you're going to destroy everybody around you and everybody that you touch. If you cannot live with integrity, then you're not living. If you have to lie about anything, then you are not a man. It is that simple. You have not achieved manhood. If there is another human being on this planet that you have to hide something from, if you haven't become integrated within yourself, if you haven't established enough goddamn integrity inside of yourself so that you can live with integrity, so that you can say, hey, this works for me, this doesn't work for me. I don't want to be a liar. I don't want to be a cheater. I don't want to be the kind of person who feels so ashamed of himself, so ashamed of his own self-worth that he has to twist and turn and misrepresent himself and misrepresent the truth to the world. That is a coward. And like I said, kind of a bitch, right? Kind of a bitch. And as a man grows in integrity, for richer or for poorer, or for better or for worse, he seeks to identify men who share the same values. Friends are men who share the same values, or women or people who share the same values. And to the extent that men fail to share the same values, then the friendship starts to disintegrate. You see? Because while one person is trying to be generous, one person is trying to be loving and giving, the other person is really feeling envy for the gregarious person. They're feeling jealousy of the gregarious person. They're feeling hatred because the gregarious person is actually powerful enough to help them. And they are in a position to receive help. So, you can only help people so long before they hate you for it. Certain people feel as though the world owes them something, either because they have been so generously melanated by the Creator, or whatever reason they have that chip on their shoulder and feeling like people owe them something. Certain people just are not going to reach caliber of manhood that I'm talking about, that I'm discussing, where they can live their lives with integrity, without lying, without cheating, without hiding, and just be who they are. Be with someone because you love them and they love you, and not because you're hungry or anything like that. But just keep listening, just keep following. Study Ayn Rand. Study the philosophy of rational objectivism. When I was in the Air Force years ago, I got a copy of The Virtue of Selfishness. And when I purchased it, I thought that it would be a good book for me to use on my bookshelf to start conversations with chicks when I had them come over to my house. The Virtue of Selfishness. It seemed like a very controversial book topic. But that book changed my life. That book introduced me to the philosophy of rational objectivism and embracing rational objectivism, embracing reason, purpose, self-esteem, and in self-esteem, self-efficacy, and self-worth has helped me. Embracing rationality, just thinking, just simply thinking, okay, has helped me to hone the virtues of independence, honesty, integrity, justice, productiveness, and therefore I am deservedly proud. So that's really all I wanted to share with you guys today. I have to head out. It's already almost noon. This is crazy. This day has gone by. Yesterday I worked very concentratedly from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I put in a 12-hour workday coding online. And you know how coding is. It's something that you gotta let it ebb and flow, right? You gotta do an ebb and flow with it. 23,000 pages on one website. Yeah. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. As always, I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody joining me. Sorry I've been off. I've been out of pocket, been taking care of business and all the rest of that. I don't bite my tongue. I'd like you to join me on Rumble. Please search for me on Rumble. Rumble, Devin Lockett. I don't hide. I don't hide behind pseudonyms or anything like that. Search for Devin Lockett and or BiomedRx. And I am starting to upload and transfer my best, my favorites, my number one, my greatest hits videos over to Rumble. And I'm going to be doing a lot of lives on Rumble because we're going to be talking about things that we can't talk about here. We're going to be talking about things that would normally get us strikes on YouTube. So thank you. Thank you for forgiving me for taking time off. Because, you can't do this all the time. You you gotta do your thing, man. You know what I mean? You gotta bring the money in, and sometimes that requires putting your nose to the grindstone and working. And that's kind of where I've been. This first quarter of the year has been very productive. You know what I mean? So anyway, stay kind, stay blessed, stay healthy. Thank you for watching. Join me on Rumble, okay? Join me on Rumble, all right? Because now, you know, I will be unbridled on Rumble. I can go back to my tin hat conspiracy theory stuff. I can talk about flat Earth. I can talk about the political issues that we're dealing with right now in the world, and I can talk about a lot of the stuff the way I like to talk about it, without any censorship and saying grape and all kind of stupidity. Anyway, stay kind, stay blessed, stay healthy. Peace.
Gold label quality BiomedRx CBD oil is made from organic hemp that is locally grown, glyphosate-free, gluten-free, non-GMO, homogenized, third-party tested, and CO2 extracted. Visit www.biomedrxcbd.com.
BiomedRx Optimum Woman is the only woman's high-potency full-spectrum multiple vitamin supplement to contain 56 nutrients, including those most important for today's woman, such as calcium for bone health, iron for healthy red blood cells, beta-carotene, biotin for nail and hair health, gamma-linoleic acid from evening primrose oil, octasanol, grapeseed extract, a potent antioxidant important for maintaining capillary strength, and vegetarian digestive enzymes. Visit www.biomedrxsupplements.com.